In September of 2025, Jaden Smith made history as he was named the first ever men's creative director for Maison Christian Louboutin. In his new role, he oversees 4 annual collections covering men's shoes, leather goods, and accessories. Jaden brings a bold, futuristic, street luxe vision to the brand, blending innovation with immersive, artistic, cinematic storytelling, pushing Louboutin into a new era of luxury menswear. In January of 2026, during Paris Fashion Week, we finally got to see what that vision looks like in real time, as Jaden Smith debuted his first collection under his new role. And today, we are going to be reviewing the items from his debut, breaking down the pieces, the details, and what this moment means in fashion culture. So hello everyone, my name is Ruth, and welcome back to another episode of What's Trending in Black Fashion. Before we dive into the collection, let's take a quick step back. Who was Christian Louboutin? Christian Louboutin was born in 1964. The legendary French designer changed the footwear game in the early 90s. In 1991, he launched his namesake brand, which quickly became synonymous with luxury, craftsmanship, and some of the most iconic high heels in fashion history. Of course, we cannot talk about Louboutin without talking about its infamous red soles. That signature glossy red bottom was created in 1993 when a prototype didn't quite feel finished until a colleague took a bottle of red nail polish and began painting the soles of the shoes. That moment of spontaneity turned into the most recognizable symbols in fashion. Since then, Louboutin has gone on to expand his business beyond just shoes. He has gone on to make handbags, accessories, and beauty products while still remaining a staple on the red carpet. From Hollywood royalty to fashion's new guard, everyone has worn his shoes. Most notably, Zendaya, who has become synonymous with his So Kate silhouette. All of that brings us into this new era, where in September of 2025, Jaden Smith made history by becoming the first ever creative director of Christian Louboutin menswear. So for this next section, guys, I will be going through the collection with you guys so you guys can see my first impressions, and yeah, so let's get into it. So first thing we're going to do is go onto the website, and as you can see, it says first men's creative director. And just to read this, it says Maison Christian Louboutin is delighted to announce the appointment of Jaden Smith as the Maison's first director, marking a significant milestone in the evolution of its men's universe. In this role, Jaden will oversee the creation of 4 collections annually across men's shoes, leather goods, and accessories, while shaping a distinctive visual and emotional universe that extends beyond product design to encompass campaigns, events, and immersive experiences. Jaden's avant-premiere capsule will be available in January in select boutiques worldwide and on christianlouboutin.com, while his debut collection will be revealed during Men's Fall-Winter 2026 Paris Fashion Week in January and in store in May 2026. So yeah, guys, as you can see, there's the image of them together. I really do like this image. I love the artistic play on, obviously he's known for the red soul. Jaden being red in this image is such a creative way to represent this new journey, but also something that the house is known for. Really, really exciting stuff here. And this is just a statement by Christian Louboutin himself. And it says, "When I first met Jaden, I saw in him a natural fit for the maison. His world is rich and multidimensional. His style and cultural sensibility are inspiring, and his curiosity and openness are remarkable. I felt that with his creative direction, our men's collection would evolve in an exciting and dynamic way. He feels like the perfect addition to our creative team, and I'm truly looking forward to having fun working with him on our men's collections." Love that. And I think also what stood out to me is the use of cultural sensibility. It seems that a lot of these fashion houses that are sort of employing black creative directors, it's linked back to this sort of cultural sensibility or awareness. I wonder why that is. Is it because of DEI, or is it because they understand the value of black currency? I really would love to understand why this shift is happening. Um, but yeah, really, really interesting. Jaden Smith's philosophy is rooted in cultural curiosity and a fearless approach to creativity. Resonates strongly with the values at the heart of the maison. A multifaceted artist, Jaden Smith steps into this role with the ambition to expand and enrich the men's narrative, drawing on early a decade of shoe collaborations, his own fashion label, and his ongoing dialogue with music performance and activism. Jaden will interpret Christian Louboutin's legacy through his unique creative lens. Yeah, I love that. I love the activism elements because I know that Jaden Smith, he works with the homeless. I think I saw somewhere where it said that he opened a restaurant for the homeless and they don't have to pay anything. So again, this is why it's important. Who you choose will definitely determine the direction of the brand. And with Christian Louboutin being such a staple and having really cemented himself in the fashion industry, in footwear, handbags, beauty, but more specifically footwear, I think that, I'm excited at least to see what Jaden does and how he uses his voice to bring forth change in fashion. So yeah, really, really exciting. I love these pictures, man. I love the creative direction of these pictures. Yeah, so before we look at the shoes, let's actually look at this page because I think this breaks the collection down even more. So, Maison Christian Louboutin unveils men's creative director Jaden Smith's first debut menswear fall winter 2026 collection through an immersive exhibition that bridges fashion, visual art, music, and history. I love that. The fact that there's history, the fact that there's history in this, that is enough for me. I'm sold. I'm sorry. If you're going to do something, like, I feel like history has so many lessons. If you're going to do something, explore history. Because honestly, as well, fashion a lot of the time is recycled. Fashion repeats itself. So when you explore history, you're basically bringing back things to life. And I've noticed this with music as well. Have you guys clocked with music? It's like samples are taking over. All musicians, well, most musicians, what they're doing nowadays is they're just going to the past, going to songs that they've heard or they've been showed from the 2000s, and they're basically bringing it back to life. And because of that, they've been winning awards, they've really been able to make a career out of it. And I know there's been a bit of discourse with people saying, oh, but that's not real creativity. We're tired of the samples. We want to see you do something different. But there's definitely something going on culturally. Maybe it's an element of nostalgia. Maybe people are feeling like they're missing, their adolescent years and they want to relive that. And so any song that sort of reminds them of that, it kind of triggers that sort of, oh my gosh, I need to listen to this. I need to hear it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that could possibly tie to that as well. But just to go back to the whole history comment, any brand that explores history, or any designer that is connected to and understands the fundamentals of history and the lessons that can be learned from there, the creative visions, the creative ideas that can be taken from there, I appreciate. I appreciate, honestly. Let's keep looking. So, honors the legacy conceived as a gradual revelation across a series of spaces. The exhibition honors the legacy of Christian Louboutin men while offering an initial vision of its future. I love that because I feel like if you are going to come into a fashion house, I feel like you need to honor its legacy, you need to honor its story, you need to honor where it came from. And so I really appreciate that Jaden did that with this collection. So yeah, so through the lens, I love these images. Through the lens of photography and cinema, central to Jaden's creative language and rooted in France's role as their birthplace, the exhibition recalls 19th century experiments in which light and movement shaped identity. Okay. Articulated through an intergenerational perspective. The collection opens a dialogue between past, present, and future, inviting visitors into an intimate encounter with Jaden's singular vision. So he says this collection is inspired by the history of working men through the centuries. The stonemasons, the scribes, the doctors. It's inspired by the lost epochs of time and made hands born from stars, forged under immense pressure deep in cosmic space. Okay, interesting. Not gonna lie, guys, I'm learning with you guys. Some of these things I have no knowledge of, but I'm learning. I'm learning. This is what I'm here to do as well. I'm a student to the game. Always will be a student to the game. So yeah, I love that. And I love these images because again, it looks historical. And I'm sure if I was to look at his mood boards, I would probably see images like this. Do you know what I mean? So again, just bringing back history and using it as a way as using it in a modern way and as part of storytelling. Okay, so the exhibition unfolds into the collection itself, where each piece becomes a vessel for Jaden's visual and cultural imagery. The courtier, which serves as an entry point into the Maison's history, first introduced in fall winter 2019, the shoe is the symbol of elegance and presence. It represents perfect classic embodying for Jaden Smith, the businessman, the working man, people who wear a suit, who show up with intention, who build something through discipline and effort. I actually want to I want to touch on that a little bit because I have been seeing a bit of the conversation about how people feel like, oh, he got this role because of nepotism and stuff. But I will say that I think with everything, even though I don't disagree because I have seen before in the media certain kids who have celebrity parents have been able to leverage off of those connections. But I have two perspectives on that. I think the first thing is, isn't that the role of a parent anyway? If your parent grew from nothing and they come into something, their role is to introduce you to opportunities that you've never had before. Like, I don't understand why that's such a bad thing. Also, I feel as though, like, with Jaden, just from this statement alone, I think we do need to acknowledge that he's obviously someone that has worked hard, that does have discipline, and has put in effort. Because even just back to what I was saying about him opening his own restaurant where he feeds the homeless, like he doesn't have to do that. So let's try not to discredit someone because their father or their mother is in the public eye and they're celebrities. Like, I understand that can play a role, but then that doesn't take away from the fact that they also need to have some form of discipline, effort, work ethic to get them to certain places. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, major shout out to Jaden for that. And we'll see, like, if it's a thing where, he's not doing numbers and, his clothes don't sell, then obviously that's a conversation that he will have with Christian Louboutin. But as for now, it seems as though he's taking it seriously. He's really thought about it. He's really put his effort into it, and it's showing through his work and creativity. Extending beyond the collection displays, the exhibition unfolds as a reflection of an image and history. A 360 video installation of vintage television screens brings together extracts from different periods that shaped human history, frames from the past and the present spanning from major events to everyday moments, highlighting how images circulate and quietly shape collective memory over time. Okay. A photo installation presents Jaden Smith's pieces, some of which are captured using early photographic methods. Each of these images is created under a cloth and developed by hand with silver and chemical solution, revealing the forms. The journey accumulates in a monumental exploded red head that dominates the space, serving as an immersive display to reveal the final chapter of the collection. Jaden offers his first glimpse into the universe with an avant-premiere capsule dropping in select boutiques. Okay, interesting. So, of course, let's have a look. Let's have a look at who the attendees were. So we have Alton Mason, of course, supermodel himself. Definitely his vibe. I feel like Mingy Trapman and Dejanis Toe. Never heard of this person, but hello. Bloody Osiris, red camouflage boots. Christian Louboutin and Willow Smith. Of course, Willow will be present. You have Jono, who's wearing the tactical harness. Sorry. We have Lennon Gallagher. Oh my gosh, it's a Gallagher. Is that one of their is that their son? One of the brothers' son? Must be. Must be. Okay, we have Will Smith, of course. Jordan Hames. Oh my gosh. Who's Jordan again? He's there. Period. I know that's right. Okay. We have Rodney Sia. I never heard of her. Must be an artist. We have Daniel das Artiste. Jada Pinkett Smith is there. Eddie Preto. Just a few different influencers. Shally Poppy, okay. Nigeria coming through. Tana, okay. Love. And then I just love how he's staying true to the house with the color red. You see a lot of the red imagery in the collection. So yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at the products and let's rate them, or let's give our review of them. First, we have these boots. They are called the Trapman TCT2. They come in both black and red. These remind me of Timberland boots. I'm not sure if that was the inspiration, but yeah. Okay. Not really my style, but I can appreciate them. I'm not gonna lie, I do not like the text at the back. It just cheapens it, in my opinion. I feel like with luxury, one of the things that I can really appreciate about it is its minimalism. I think having it be very minimalistic just makes it more chic, makes it more reserved. But there's a quietness to it. It adds a quietness to it that speaks volumes in a way. So yeah, I personally wouldn't have put the text behind, but the shoe is a nice shape. It's not my style. However, this is menswear. If my man was to wear this shoe again, I don't know if I would be a fan of it, but at the same time, I can appreciate it. I was saying as well, I do like that with the red, you can see the matte texture of the shoe. I really, really appreciate that. Because that just gives it an element of like luxury. It just makes it look very clean and chic, in my opinion, and it's a nice touch to have. I believe this is leather, so it is crafted in Luby red calf leather. Yeah, so this is leather. But yeah, really interesting. Just reminds me of Timberlands, to be honest. Then we have these neon blue boots, which I like these. Again, not a fan of the text on the back. However, in terms of the silhouette of the boot, I do really like it. They kind of remind me of Wellington boots. I'm not sure if that was the inspiration. But oh, here it says where it is. So the neon blue takes inspiration from the playful shape of round-toed clown shoes. Okay. So the name balloon is a play on the word, blending clown and balloon to reflect the playful design of this shoe, inspired by one of Christian Louboutin's favorite universe, the circus. Okay, love that. The below the knee boot is crafted in smooth calf leather and features the Maison Christian Louboutin piece signature on the heel. It comes in Luby red for a sophisticated finish. But yeah, okay. I like it. I like this boot. like I said, it kind of reminds me of a Wellington boot, but it's not bad. Would I wear it in red? I don't think so. Not sure if I'm a fan of the color, but I like the black. It is just a simple round toe boot, but one can appreciate again the minimalism of luxury. This is made from, what is this? I think it's leather. Did it say? Yeah, calf leather. Of course. Next we have the CL bandana. Now, with this bandana, I think again, you know, I was having a conversation with myself and I was saying that I've noticed a repetitiveness when it comes to black designers sometimes. I feel like there is one language of fashion in the West. And so what we as black designers try to do is to create our own interpretations around that one language. For example, going back to the Tims, we know that Louis Vuitton, they do so many adaptations of the Tims. Do you know what I mean? And Tims are another thing that's very much staple in black culture, especially in New York and stuff like that. And so I just feel like we need to avoid us repeating the same things and creating the same things. There needs to be a branch out, like our interpretations, our research, our inspiration needs to begin to shift, because if you are just looking in the same place, then fashion will become repetitive, if that makes any sense. But yeah, because I feel like with the bandana, why would someone buy this bandana when they could literally go to the beauty supply store, they could go to Pax, Shabba, do you know what I mean? They could go to any beauty supply store and get it for more than half the price. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like in order for people to buy, there has to be more. And I just feel like I get it from a concept perspective. I get having this as an accessory, but at the same time, could we have pushed it? Maybe there's a print that an ancient African tribe or kingdom, or a community in an African American community that existed in the past, maybe they have a certain print that they use to represent their culture. Maybe there's a way to implement that to replace the paisley print, because right now I'm not seeing anything that's really different apart from the like cross in the middle. But come on now, like there's nothing new here. There's nothing innovative here. In terms of material, this looks like it's silk, but let me just check. Oh, it's cotton. Yeah, and it's cotton. So do you know what I mean? Like that in itself is just repetitive. Okay, and next we have these sneakers called the SKVI. I'm not sure what number that is. I'm sorry. But okay. I'm not really a fan of the silhouette. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the silhouette. I do appreciate though how it's been styled on the model. I like how it's been styled here, but I do not like these at all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And again, the text on the back just, yeah, it's cheapening it for me. It's cheapening it for me. I feel like Primark could make this tomorrow and no one would be able to tell the difference. That's my concern. Um, but yeah, not really interesting. Let me read the product description. Elegant art that elevates art. This model takes its name from SK, short for skate. Okay. Capturing its bold urban spirit. 2026. Okay. Marks a new chapter of creativity. Okay, all right, interesting. It's taken inspiration from skating. But yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like them at all. These mm-mm. No thanks. Next we have these penny loafers. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now you're speaking my language. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful shoe. I don't know if you guys have been seeing, but there's been a new trend of like penny loafers where it's pleated or gathered on the toe. I really, really like them. I really like them. I saw some on Vinted by Tommy Hilfiger, and they were beautiful. They were stunning. So I'm a penny loafer. I'm a loafer girly. I love loafers. You can dress it up. You can dress it down. You can wear it with tracksuits. You can wear it with a suit. You can wear loafers so many ways, especially with socks. So yeah, I'm a loafer girly, hands down. And these to me are beautiful. I like them. I like the zigzag edging. It gives it, an element of uniqueness. I like the sort of narrow rounded toe. I really like that. And especially for us wide feet girlies, it makes our feet look really like narrow, so you can really appreciate that. um yeah, I really like these. Really pretty. What is this made from? Calf abrasivato. Never heard of that. Calf leather. So the Penny TCT is a refined loafer crafted from soft, brushed calf leather in black. The distinctive semi-shiny finish adds an element of glamour, while an iconic silver coin stamped on with the Maison Christian Louboutin signature completes the detail. Okay, yeah, I like this. But again, to some they'll be like, "Oh, but it's just a pair of loafers," right? But no, I think they're really nice. I like the silhouette. I like the shape of them for men. As a woman, would I wear it? I don't know. I'd have to try it on, but I like it. I do like it for sure. Um, and this part to me kind of looks like a bowl. The center part kind of looks like a bowl, which I like. It adds an element of like femininity to the shoe. So now he has some bags. This is called the Janice tote. Let's have a look. What color do I want to look at? Let's look at the red one. Okay, so this is a man's tote bag. How do we feel about men's handbags? How do we feel? um, I I think the silhouette of this bag is nothing new, but again, it's luxury. Next, we have the Louise Junior pearls. I'm sorry, all the pearl shoes are just a no for me. I'm sorry. I'm very particular when it comes to sequins, you know, beading. I'm very, very particular because I feel like it gets to a point where it can become borderline tacky, in my opinion. So I just don't, I just wouldn't. It's just not pearls, stuff like sequins. They're just not really me. But I did really like Louis Vuitton's custom gown for Chase Affinity at the Golden Globes, but that wasn't really beadwork. It had sequins in it, but it was done in a way that was very structural, artistic. Do you know what I mean? So it didn't look like what these shoes look like. But for me, sorry, it's just no, I don't like them at all. So I'm not even gonna bother clicking on them, but you know, again, I know this silhouette is a slip-on, right? Slip-on loafers. Louis Vuitton Christian Louboutin staple. This silhouette also I've seen from Christian Louboutin. So I know that it's a staple from their brand. But I'm sorry, the pearls are just a no for me. Next we have the ball shoe. How do I feel about this shoe? Let me look at it. Well. I I I'm struggling to have an opinion. It's neither here or there for me. Let me look at it in red. Okay, yeah, no, I don't like it. I just feel like it looks like house slippers. I can appreciate the creativity, but yeah, it looks like house slippers. But there's a but. I will say, as somebody who explores African history, I can appreciate this because it reminds me of the masquerade outfits of a lot of African tribes and cultures. So for that element, I can appreciate this, even though I don't feel like that's the inspiration behind this at all. Let me just read this. Yeah, it doesn't mention anything about African heritage, but at the same time, I see that in this. So for that reason, I like it and I can appreciate it. Because I do know that Burberry, who was it? hold on, let's Google this. Burberry. In women's wear, we have Burberry. Yeah. Um, who created fur shoes. But these look nice though on slippers. It's playful, it's dainty. However, I think because with the way that Jaden has explored it, I think it's a bit too, because it's a closed shoe, it's too much at once. It's not as playful and dainty. So I think that's probably where it's throwing me off a little bit. I don't mind the concept of the fur on the shoes, because come on, we wear stuff like Uggs, do you know what I mean? And again, just going back to Burberry, like that's something that they've done as well. I think also, am I bugging, but Bottega. Yeah, so we have a lot of luxury brands that have, explored fur shoes, or the use of fur on shoes. But I think with this one, because it is a closed shoe, and an Oxford, it's just too much. It literally looks like a house slipper. But like I said, I can appreciate it because it reminds me of African culture and heritage and storytelling. So yeah. Then we have this red tactical camouflage boots. This is a trend that has been bought from the early 2000s, and we have been seeing a lot of people wear fur shoes, fur boots in particular. And to be fair, I'm not mad at this trend. I like this. This is very much Gen Z today. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not mad at this. Again, it's nothing sort of new or innovative, but I can appreciate it for its modernity, I would say. Next, we have this cap, which looks like a wig. This looks like a wig. Um, would I wear this? Again, I feel like there's certain bits from this collection that I feel like if I was going to a runway show, I would wear it. Like this is something I would wear if I was going to a runway show. Like I don't mind it. If you style this, for example, with like a red blazer, so this with like a red blazer, some red tights, red shoes, and then you have a matching bag to this hat, honey, that is such a red carpet moment. Like what? I would wear that. I would 100% wear that. But again, is it practical? No. Is it something you'd wear every day? Most definitely not. But I can appreciate the creativity and artistic direction behind it for sure. But it definitely looks like a wig then. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. And then we have a belt, the ball belt. Okay, I like this. I like this belt. I'm not mad. I like this belt. I do. I do. I really do. Again, this reminds me of African culture. Like when you look at the masquerades, it's stuff like this that you see on their waist. They typically have animal fur on the trim on their arms, on the end of their arms. They have it on their neck, they have it on their feet, they have it even on their heads. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I can appreciate that. I like that. It's playful, it's dainty. Do you know what I mean? It's not too in your face. It's just enough. Do you know what I mean? I really like this. I really like this. I would buy this. Maybe not for the price, but of course, this is luxury we're talking about. So, but yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. So the next item we have is the TFT 2020. I think he said this is 2026 or something like that. Harness bag. Um, I like this. This is also something that I like. Very modern for sure. Um, yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Again, is it something that you could wear for every day? I think so, actually. I do. I do think so, if styled in the right way, because it does kind of remind me of like, is it like gilets? There's certain gilets, like sporty gilets, and then they'll have like multiple pockets, almost like a, what are they called? Oh my gosh, cargo pants, but like rather than a pant version, a gilet version. So I'm not mad at this. I think this is a great sort of luxury take on that, on those kind of jackets. And with this as well, styling wise, you could definitely wear like I see it with like a waistcoat, a shirt, but also a waistcoat. a leather one maybe, or a cotton one, or wool, and then you put this on top, and then you have your suit jacket on top. So it's almost like your armor, your safety, like your storage, or your internal storage, if that makes sense. Um yeah, I like this. I like this. I would definitely style this for sure. And again, I see this on both men and women, because with women, you could style this. You could have a harness, a leg version of this. That would be really sexy and cute, right? With some sheer tights, with some pumps, again, a blazer, just to play on the sort of like his and her element of it. But yeah, really cute. And the rest of the stuff are just like earrings, um, accessories. I mean, can't go wrong with some accessories, can you? Don't really have much to say. But then I guess the next thing would be this belt. Again, I'm sorry. I see the creativity of this, in the sense of like, I like that, it's the logos like that, because typically with belts, they will focus the logo primarily on the center. So when you lift up your top, you're seeing the logo on the center of your trouser. But I like how the text sort of goes through the waist. It sits around the waist in a way. Um but I'm so sorry. I just don't like the logo. For me right now anyway, I just don't like the font being on show like this. I just feel like it's not chic. Whatever that means, but yeah. But yeah, guys, that's it from the collection. Oh my gosh, that was a workout, wasn't it? But yeah, that's it from the collection of Jaden Smith times Christian Louboutin. But honestly, I just want to offer my greatest and my sincerest congratulations to Jaden Smith for making history and for producing this collection under the brand. I am looking forward to what else he would choose to do and how he will explore further. And yeah, I think that so far, definitely a good initial collection, but I would definitely love to see him just push himself a bit more in terms of creativity, in terms of creating stuff that we haven't seen before. But apart from that, like, it's good. I like some of the pieces. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what else he does. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you did, if you stayed until the end, let me know what your favorite pieces were. Did you agree with some of my take on some of the items in the collection? If not, let me know why. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll make sure to see you guys in my next video. Bye.